puppies are left to their own devices and given too much time, this is the kind of play we end up with. It looks quite cute and innocent, but not everybody's got a second dog. So if you haven't got another dog, how these puppies are playing and acting, the play generally focuses on children in the household or even adults in the household, and play becomes quite rough. People see it as quite aggressive, however it is just puppies being puppies, just playing, just experimenting. And it's hard to bring to an end. So if puppy is playing like this with a child, it's very hard for families to get to a point where it ends when they say it ends, because puppy doesn't really understand the word no or off or stop it. It has to be taught. So what I'm going to do in this situation now is I'm going to pick Penny up and I'm just going to calm her down, place her in her crate so you can start to see what we do. This kind of play does happen, but we don't allow it very often, and we wouldn't allow it for a huge amount of time, just because it's a one-way road to nowhere. Come on in. So I'm just going to pick Puppy up and I'm going to pop her in a crate. I always place Puppy in the crate. She never goes in there herself. I just pick her up and pop her in. I'm going to give her a couple of minutes just to see what she does while the other dogs are still out here, how she acts. Because I've brought the crate outside, and when she comes outside she gets to enjoy herself. She gets to run around with the other puppies, or I do something with her. So what I really want from her is, I don't mind if she stays alert, but I don't want her barking or whining. And the other dogs will come and antagonise her because they want to know what's going on as well. So in a social event, it's about having control. In the household, we have the crate, and puppies spend a huge amount of time in the crate, and they should do. If we take an adult dog, they say an adult dog will sleep 50% of the time, rest 30% of the time, and have energy and activity 20% of the time. So if an adult dog is doing that, a puppy's is going to be a huge amount more. So I would say a puppy easily wants to be sleeping 70% of the time. Resting a further 20% of the time, and only out having activity 10% of the time. So as far as puppies are concerned, we are told 5 minutes per month of age. So this puppy here should be having 15 minutes of activity a day. Toilet training does not count. Coming out for a toilet and having a drink, that is not included. It is just activity, whether it be running around with another dog, playing, being social with yourself, training. Sitting by your side, watching the telly in the living room doesn't count. That's just the dog being there with yourself. But that also needs to be taught. So Penny's quite calm to sit there in the crate, doesn't really know what's going on. This situation is totally different to her. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take her out of the crate and I'm going to pop on a lead. So I see a lead as a training implement, not a walking implement. So we use these to train and control. So I'm just going to take Penny out. Good girl. Happy to come out. Straight onto the lead. And I use a lead in the house quite a lot in social events. We've got children, young children, we've got grandchildren, and I want Puppy just being in and around us. So I don't want Puppy jumping all over me, and I don't want it skirting around, chasing after the grandchildren, biting at their ankles, wanting to play. So I use a lead to control all of that. Good girls. Oh, hello, Shirley. Oh, hello. So all we want is for this lead to stay nice and slack, and this dog to understand that it's got to stay with us. So I've brought the others forward to antagonise Penny. Good girl. I want to calm her down every time, just as she starts to settle. As time goes on and the dog gets older, Puppy gets older, they will just expect to be with yourself, and you can drop the lead on the floor and leave Puppy alone. And as time goes on, you'll be able to just take the lead off the puppy, and the puppy will just stay with you. But at this moment in time, I think families don't really understand the amount of pressure we put on a puppy and how little they understand. This puppy still doesn't understand the word sit, stay, no, come here, what you doing, that's wrong, off. Doesn't understand any of that. It just wants to be social. They're eager to please, but they are born chancers. They will do anything that they can do to then get away with it. Come on, girls. Shirley dog, Shirley. Shirley dog, come on, Shirley dog. Come on, Shirley dog, come on in. Come on, Shirley dog, come on in. Good girl. Good girl, Shirley dog. Always a good girl, Shirley dog. Always a good girl, Shirley dog. Go on now. Good girl. Good girl. I know. Come on in, Bonnie. There's a Bonnie dog. Go on in. We want to keep these training sessions short and sweet. She's done really well for her first time. These are the kind of situations that you could be in your living room, your office, your kitchen, outside a pub, having a drink with the family, and it's all about control. But we don't want to bury them in stress. So, I mean, a few minutes here, a few minutes there. You need every second to count. So there's no point stressing this dog out to the point where it doesn't understand and we lose control. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm just going to end it by popping her back in her crate. And although you won't see this, I will not take Puppy out the crate now until she falls asleep. So once she's settled down and fell asleep, no matter what's going on around her, that's when I'll let her out. Good girl.